we're going to be doing is putting a TV mount here. I've already done a video on that. If you want that information, check that out here. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running an outlet to right here. I am also going to be putting the TV mount here and everything, and I will go over a few things on how you can place that on this large wall where you want it and still get power to it. So as you can see, we've got an outlet over there and we've got an outlet over here. Those are both switched outlets for lamps. So you can get power from those, but they're not really in the center of the wall. So that would be rather difficult. And we want to just not disturb any sheetrock, not have any sheetrock work to do when we're finished, and make this very simple. I've put a few marks on the wall here, so just to illustrate what's going on a little easier. On the other side of this wall, this is where the stud is, and on the other side of the wall, there is an outlet down here on the bottom, on this side of the stud, which is great. This is ideally about where we want the mount to go. This is on a stud in the middle of the room. There is also a stud here. I can't really run a wire easily from down here over to this cavity because I've got a stud right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to knock a hole in the wall down there on the other side of the outlet at the same height as these others. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 outlets in. I'm going to tie it to that outlet on the other side of the wall, and then I'm going to run that wire, which will be easy because I'm also going to cut a large 2-gang outlet hole right here. Won't see anything but an outlet down here, which will be an addition, which will be great, and then an additional 2 outlets up here as well. The part where I don't have all of my tools. You know, we traveled 12 hours from home to be over here with family, and I'm doing this project, so I don't have everything. I don't have a sheetrock saw with me. I do have one at home, but I failed to bring it. So I guess this is the portion where I show you how you can do things with other tools. So this does need to be very precise. So I am going to take this utility knife and I am going to cut across where the sheetrock needs to come out first. You can see me here with the stud finder double checking the stud location. I do get it a little bit too far over into the stud, so my hole ends up being a little larger than I would like for it to be, but I'll cover that up a little bit later in the video with a jumbo cover. Here you can see the back of the box on the other side of the wall. That's where the power is coming from. I will run a wire right there where my finger's pointing, hook that into the outlet to gain power into this extension of the circuit. But this video is not really about that. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that you can see about how to wire outlets. It's pretty simple, but if you don't feel comfortable with that, make sure you get a trained professional in there. But this is a video just to show you how easy it is to run those wires through the walls. If you've got more than your power wire, like you need a cable box wire or some HDMI cables, anything like that is just as simple and can be done along while you're running the outlets. These ears stay outside the sheetrock while this lower part goes inside the sheetrock. These little tabs I just pulled up, when you tighten up those screws, they pop out and pull everything up to the sheetrock and tight, and that's considered an old work box. Outlets are 54 cents at the big box store. So I'm going to go ahead and take this outlet all the way out, and I'm going to put a new outlet in. This house was built in 1968. This is an original outlet. You can see here that everything's flathead. They don't have Phillips in here yet. So you won't ever see that now. But these get kind of worn out and everything. So, you know, again, 54 cents. We're in here anyway. Let's go ahead and put a new one in. Okay, so I went ahead and pre-wired these outlets, all but the ground. So I've got this one coming to this one and so forth and so on. I've got the hot to the hot. So all I have to do is take this wire that I'm going to be bringing from the outlet up, and I have to connect this to, I can put it down here on this hot, or I can put it up here on this hot, and then put the neutral to the neutral over here, either down here or here, and then tie the ground wire in. And then this wire will go on down the wall and tie into the other outlets and then be a part of the system. Here I'm just cutting the paper on the back side. I've got my line here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this down. All right. Okay. Hopefully find it. Yep. All right. The rest of the house is mounted with the ground up, so I'm going to stay with that. It's not typical today, but that's okay. So all you got to do is flush that up. And remember those wings that I showed you earlier that pop out? As soon as I started turning those to tighten, they popped out. And now they're going to be grabbing sheetrock on the back side. All right, we're nice and sturdy there. Now if your cover doesn't fit over your outlets well, that means that your outlets are a little bit off. They can be, unloosened and moved over a little bit. But if they're close, they'll kind of work their way in. Let's see here. There we go. All right, so there is our outlet. There's our cavity that we put it in from here to here. And then here is our next stud that's in the middle of the room we're going to mount the TV on. So if you want the TV way up here, you're fine, you've got it covered. If you want the TV as low as this, you've still got it covered. And I intentionally put it on the high side because you're going to have wires that are coming up here. If you put the outlet on the low side of the television, you're going to have a harder time. You're going to have to pull the wires up with cable ties to get them to hang out up here where you want them to, where I think it's just a little easier to put them high, but either way is fine. So I'm going to leave that there because I've got a TV mount going there. Let's tie in the rest of this wiring and we'll be done with that part. So as I was afraid of, we've got a little bit of a reveal here, so I went out and picked up a jumbo large cover, and that will fix my mess up. If I haven't reminded you, right now is a really good time to hit that subscribe button. Really helps me out. If you share it with a friend, that helps out a ton. And go ahead and hit that like button. It helps let other people see it. It gets YouTube to recommend my video. Put this one on. And now one thing that also can be done, if this didn't cover, these outlets can be moved over to that side of the box. So, okay, I went ahead and just adjusted the outlets over a little bit. That fits right on. We've got everything completed. We got the outlet put in. There's an outlet right up here behind the television. It's all tucked away where you can't see it behind the TV. We've even got an antenna put in, so everything's finished. Just ready to enjoy. We'll see you on the next one. And here's a snapshot of my in-laws enjoying their new television.